Hello everyone. A little bit of an update on SP2000, the iPad edition. You'll notice here on the welcome screen we've got a couple of new buttons, Web Plus being one, and next to the calls button is the new call button. The calls, if you're not using it, is like the Hunter task list. So if you go here, it shows what I have lined up to do. When we get done with a task, like this one here, this is a test one I was doing, you can just hit complete, and when you hit open by priority, you can see it comes off the list. So the idea behind this, and another rep explained it to me, is that you get a phone call, customers called, you just open up Smart Business 2000, you hit new call, and we've got this feature now to where it puts you in a find box. So let's say if we're looking for a Pep Boys, I just put in Peps and hit the continue button. It'll list all my Pep Boys. I happen to know we want to do this one on West Hills. I press the appropriate button next to it, and it now has added the call where the cursor is blinking where we would write what was wrong, like a liner broken, and we try to have better spelling. Now the good part is everything you put in here is only stuff you're going to see. It's never going on the invoice, so if the spelling's not correct, don't lose any sleep over it. So that's what we do. We've put the call in, we're all done, right? Well, later on when we get to that Pep Boys, we're going to go to this calls, this Hunter task list. We're going to be at that Pep Boys. Okay, this is the one with the aligner broken. We're going to go ahead and start the invoice. Automatically starts us an invoice, fills in the customer's information. We're ready to go. Very first part we need, let's say, is a 34-126. Got one in there. Let's see the next part that you need. It's a super cable, but for some reason you can't remember the part number. We can go in here. We could actually scroll through it until we went down to the 38s, or we can just go and put 38 dash, and we know it's 9 something, but we're not sure. So it would give us all of these that we need, and it's like, here it is, USB and Burndy cable. And hitting the blue button would paste it to the invoice. Hitting the green button would add it to your parts that you wanted to order. So we're just going to hit the blue button right back over here. We'll paste it in there, and it would be set to go. One of the things on as well as that works, we've done the same thing with labor, because before you could pop this up, scroll through it, which you can still do, you know, like 611, hit the labor, it would put it in there. You'll notice that we have like a question mark here because the number is so long. One thing we did do in the invoice file, we did increase that field length so that they will all fit in. So you can still use this labor way to find your parts, but the new way we've put is we've got this little search engine, and we would know that, like say on that, just that last one, that we knew it began with 611, so here it would be the whole list. And instead of going through all the list, it would start at 611 and only have the 611 stuff on it. And we could go ahead and then paste the one that we were going to use, and would be all set on that. Another thing we've added to it is right here in this light gray area, you can actually put a photo. When you're using your iPad, when you click on this, it'll actually say take photo. You can take a photo with the iPad and it'll be right on the invoice. Because I'm recording this on a computer, I'm just going to hit insert picture, and we'll put a picture in there, and you can see that it shows this picture. This is like a universal clipboard, so we can only keep one picture in the program at a time, and that keeps the program from growing and bloating with all the photos in it. But it's there, so if we went to print this invoice with that on there, we'd go ahead and hit print, and you can see now that it's right there in the middle of the invoice. If you use more than 8 lines, you can't use a photo because it would fight for a little bit of space. The other thing is, if you got to this printing this invoice and you realize, wait a second, that was a picture from another one, you can always just take the picture out. But it's a nice little feature that we have. So if you want to use it, you can. If not, no big deal. Doesn't have to be there. The other thing is, and I'll put another picture back in here. Here, let's put a different picture into this time. If you were writing a new invoice, let's say we were over here in the call list and we were going to start this guy's invoice, you'll notice that picture's still there. Well, of course, you wouldn't want the picture from the last person there, so you can actually delete the photo right here. You don't have to do it in the invoice. We put it there just because it's an easy, fast place for you to see it, use it. We also have this add photo button. It just gives you a bigger place maybe to see it, maybe a little easier on the iPad. I don't find it's an issue, but it's there if you want to see it. Okay, one of the final features that I want to show you here is Web Plus. What this is you'll notice there's a Web Plus here right on the front screen, and then over on the invoice screen where we do most of our work between that and the call screen, there is also a Web Plus icon. Either one doesn't matter, they both do the exact same thing. So we'll click it here, and you can see as we go in here to the Hunter program, you would then, the first place it always will go is Hunter. That's the default, where you could put in your information and then log on. The other thing that we have is, of course, we have our main, our contacts, our calls, our parts, our invoice, our normal navigation. See, we're still in Smart Business. So if you use Gmail, you can come over here to your Gmail account, check it. Google Voice, come over here and check all your Google Voice and your Google Calendar. Now, it will see that it'll want to use a mobile version, but I hit cancel. I like this view better, and then you can kind of see what's going on. The other thing we have is a search function here that searches Google. So here you'd have a lead aligner, and if we hit search, you can see that we get Hawkeye Alignment Systems, Hunter Engineering. The RGM button is there so at a later date we can make it, if it goes to the internet as a internet-based program, that you would just click on it and go there. Right now it's just defaulting back to Hunter. But this way you can be in Smart Business, you know, doing all the work that you're normally going to do. If you want to go over and check your Gmail real quick, you can just pop in here and do it. No need to get out of the program to check your voice messages, your Gmail, or anything like that. It's all right inside Smart Business. And a lot of the other internet stuff still here. It's just like, you know, if we're here at Pet Boys, you know, those of you that don't have the most up-to-date version, if you hit the Google Maps, it'll automatically come up with the Google map showing you where the location is, and you can see the street view and what have you, and it shows you what goes on. So we've had that in there for a while. So the other thing is we do have a Google here on the front page, and that is for you know, you do the same thing. It's just a little bit bigger, and it actually goes to the Google page that you're probably real used to if you're a Google user. So just a few things we've done with the latest edition of Smart Business 2000.